Hey, what's up? It's Common, guys, and let me tell you, Money in the Bank pay-per-view was tough to watch. It was brutal because honestly, it wasn't that good. And we're going to break it down for you. I'm going to have a little bit of a rant, so here we go. The first match is the Money in the Bank men's ladder match, and we have four unique storylines going into this. Number one, we have Jey Uso looking to jumpstart his solo run by winning the Money in the Bank and trying to cash in and get a title. Number two, we have LA Knight, who has just pinned Logan Paul to qualify, and his popularity is soaring. We have the third unique match, which is technically Chad Gable versus the Wyatt Six, and he's looking to win the Money in the Bank because whatever's going on with the Wyatt Six, they have to have a plan afterwards. And then the fourth unique man in this is Drew McIntyre looking to undo the damage CM Punk did at Clash at the Castle, trying to get the Money in the Bank so he can cash in later that night. As Jay and LA Knight climb the ladder, hitting each other, every time one hits the other, the crowd either says yeah or yeet. And it was great because the momentum was there for these two men. Shout out to Chad Gable for holding on to the Money in the Bank as Jay removes the ladder from underneath him and he actually falls on the mat. Now, as we get to the end of the match, Jay actually climbs up the ladder after Chad Gable takes a heavy fall. There's nobody around him, and he's about to grab the briefcase when Drew McIntyre grabs a stair, throws it into Jay's face. Jay falls down, and we get our winner. Drew McIntyre has won Money in the Bank for the men's division. Here comes my first rant. WWE has stopped investing in Jey Uso. It seems that Jay is destined to just be the sidekick to Roman Reigns. We all know when Roman Reigns come back, he's going to have to go into a feud against Solo in the new bloodline, and Jay is going to have to be a part of this. Forget Jay's solo run. I don't think he's going to have one as long as the bloodline issues stand. Now, as for Chad Gable, there was no mystical interference. I like a slow burn sometimes, but the Wyatt Six is making no sense. They've been interrupting him every single time. They should have interrupted it now so that we can advance that storyline if Chad wasn't going to win Money in the Bank. LA Knight, once again, has a huge moment. The crowd wants him to win. And again, WWE does not capitalize on the LA Knight popularity and just allows him to lose and look bad. I hope they rectify all this come SummerSlam, but we will see, especially for Jay. I don't think solo run is in the cards anymore. I'm pretty sure he's going back to the Bloodline feud. As for Drew, I'm happy for him. He deserved it. He has been a workhorse for this company, but I think he benefits less because we all know he's not cashing in. His destiny for right now is to fight CM Punk. Next up, we have Sami Zayn and Bron Breakker for a title match, and while I'm so happy that Sami Zayn has passed the Chad Gable feud, I kind of feel bad for Bron Breakker because, wow, his Aurora is undefeated, the unbeatable machine, and Sami Zayn just took the wind out of the sail by actually beating him. Every time that Bron Breakker would go and try to do one of his finishers, Sami Zayn would counter. Now, we could say that this is because Sami Zayn is more experienced and seasoned and Bron Breakker didn't do his homework and study Sami Zayn's moves. We could have that title rematch soon, but it does kind of affect Bron Breakker, especially that Sami Zayn beat him cleanly. Seth versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight title. And this is where things go off the rails for me. Now, this match starts off great, especially for Seth. It looks like he hasn't missed a step. The surgery probably never happened in Seth's mind because he looks so great and actually did change up his arsenal, jumping from the top rope, showing his flexibility and that he's once again that workhorse and ready to lay the smackdown on whoever his opponent is. It was great, and Damian Priest looked out of his element because there is no way you can compare Seth to Damian. Seth is just the better wrestler. Now, where the match starts to go off rails and starts to anger me is that Seth has Damian pinned. Damian Priest, for some reason, did not kick out, and the ref has this awkward moment when he gets to 2, he just stops counting like the ref has been paid off by the Judgment Day. It makes no sense. McIntyre in the chaos comes out to cash in the Money in the Bank as was supposed to happen. It comes a triple threat match and Drew clears out the ring and is about to win it. CM Punk comes out of nowhere and starts destroying Drew McIntyre. With everything going on and Drew half beaten, Damian Priest puts the finishing blow on Drew and wins and retains. Seth is too weakened on the outside of the ring to actually stop this from happening, but we get a cool interaction between Seth and CM Punk. Seth blames CM Punk for costing him the title and once again brings up their rivalry as these two men are about to go at it. Drew is left broken in the ring. Having Drew lose the Money in the Bank briefcase on the same night he won really rubs me the wrong way, because Jay is desperate to win a solo win. LA Knight, his popularity is so through the roof that he needs to get a title on his hands. Even Chad Gable is a man that, despite all that's going on with the Alpha Academy, needs to have a clear path and a clear way to get the title. These men worked hard and these men are extremely popular. And I don't understand why you couldn't have just made a triple threat match and had the same results that you did. It doesn't make sense that you wasted the briefcase. Now, there's a lot of argument that says, well, the title field is kind of crowded. There's a lot of talent. But Money in the Bank is not just about winning the title. It's also about getting recognition for your hard work and being able to have a storyline where you're carrying around the Money in the Bank and a potential cash-in and having your moment to shine. The men that participated in the Money in the Bank match, especially Jay and LA Knight, should have had this moment, but it was stolen. Now, as for Damian Priest, it's a conclusion at this point that this man is not going to retain the title against Gunther, and Gunther is going to be the final boss for the heavyweight title. I hope that we get past the CM Punk interruptions and actually allow Drew to win this title match and have a rematch between Gunther and him at WrestleMania. But for now, it looks like SummerSlam is kind of booked for Drew versus CM Punk. Next up, we have the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match to me was the main event of the show. It should have been the main event because it brought so much energy and actually kind of was funny. You had Chelsea Green, afraid of heights, trying to figure out ways to get the Money in the Bank briefcase down. You had amazing spots between Io Sky and Zoe Stark where they took some heavy bumps. You had Valkyria showing to the world that she's an up-and-coming young talent. And then you had the finish of the match, which left me awestruck. Chelsea Green, overcoming her fears of heights, climbs to grab the Money in the Bank, but Tiffany Stratton is right after her. Chelsea Green gets thrown off the ladder into 2 tables, and Tiffany Stratton wins the Money in the Bank. Tiffany Stratton is an up-and-coming, young, talented wrestler. Winning the Money in the Bank only furthers her storyline because Bayley, Nia Jax are going to fight at SummerSlam. Tiffany Stratton is technically Nia Jax's partner, Nia Jax's friend. Her having the Money in the Bank briefcase is setting up Tiffany's betrayal of Nia Jax. Main event was Solo and the Bloodline versus Cody, KO, and Randy. And if you've seen one Bloodline match, you've seen them all. And the worst part about this match is that Solo, Jacob Fatu, they're not ready for this main event caliber type of match. They looked outgunned, they looked tired, and Randy, Kevin Owens, and Cody are totally outclassing them in style and in match. But let's kind of recap this match. Starts off, every man gets their spot. Every time Randy would beat up the Bloodline will respond and beat up Randy, and it goes vice versa for every member of the Bloodline and every member of the baby faces, as I call them. Then we get to the actual finish of the match, where the referee once again gets knocked out, and it goes into a total free-for-all where all men just start hitting each other. Cody Rhodes sets his sights on Solo because he is calling himself the head of the table and the Bloodline, and begins the triple crossroads, getting to 2 when Jacob Fatu interferes. Solo is able to get a hold of Cody Rhodes because Jacob Fatu interfered and give him the Samoan spike. Bloodline revived the ref, and Solo gets the pin on Cody Rhodes, thus solidifying Solo as the head of the table. I understand why Cody Rhodes took the pin. This is setting up Solo versus Cody at SummerSlam, with Roman Reigns returning during that match to help Cody and take down Solo. But again, it doesn't feel right. Solo, as much as we want to make him the person for the Bloodline, the tribal chief, has not earned that position to pin Cody Rhodes. It should have been somebody else. It just, I guess story-wise, it makes sense, but honestly, in caliber of wrestling, it does not. With that being said, I've recapped most of everything except the saddest news coming out of Money in the Bank, which was a total downer, but much respect to John Cena. John Cena comes out and announces that 2025 is his final year at the WWE, final year being involved in major storylines. So he's retiring. It's sad to see John Cena, such a GOAT, such a legend, retire, but he's doing it in his manner, in his way. He is going to work almost a full schedule, especially appearing when it comes to pay-per-views. I'm excited to see who he's going to rival and be matched up against. With that being said, thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite match was and what your least favorite match was. And like, share, subscribe. See you on the next one.